So one of the things I've noticed is the average age of when the Yankees call up some of their top prospects seems to be significantly older than the average age of the top prospects of other teams, and I don't really know why, but like with the exception of some, but like I'll give you an example now. I mean, guys like Chris Gittens, these guys are in their late 20s. You have a guy that you acquired, Greg Allen, just sitting at AAA. He's 28. Gittens. Trey Ambergy, I think he's 25 or 26. Hoijon Park, 25. Some of the young top prospects. Now, there are some that are younger, but for some reason, and this has like been a consistent trend for a while, the Yankees call up guys they generally don't call up guys that are 21, 22, and so on, which is, and again, they do it sometimes, but at a much lower rate than the other teams. And I don't really know why the Yankees either prospect hug or feel like they're not ready or something like that. But these people are high-level baseball players. If you put them up, you call them up early, you give them a shot, particularly when the Yankees lineup is deficient at the major league level. What else are you going to do when the Yankees are, hamstrung at the cap? And this is another reason why it's kind of linked to me when you prospect hug and you don't give these young guys an opportunities, you wind up bringing in expensive guys via trade or free agency. So you hamstring yourself at the cap anyway, and the luxury tax, and then you can't make significant trades when you need to. So then you have one Garrett Cole and then no one else because you can't afford to bring him in. Well, there should be maybe a co-ace with Garrett Cole. Milko, Justin Verlander did. So Cole makes the other pitchers better, but we need somebody up there to push Cole. Somebody to be up there equal with him to kind of motivate him to keep going as well. That's what Justin Verlander did with Garrett Cole. We need to be able to do that here. But if the Yankees are prospect hugging, not giving some of these guys a chance, even when they're performing much better at the AAA than some of the Yankees are at the major league level, even with guys you can send down who have options, then what exactly? Why are they there? Why are they there? It's just a curious question to me, and I've been noticing that for quite a while now. And a lot of the young other prospects, the Joe Adells of the world, he's 21. Yeah, he struggled, but I'd rather have him struggle and figure it out at the major leagues at 21 than have these guys come up at 26, 27, 28 when some of their prime years have already passed. I'd rather have a guy figure it out leading into his prime years, that way you can maximize the time window you get with these players, instead of, again, not giving these guys a chance and having to bring in, expensive guys, especially, more than they should be, or doing reunions. Like, does anybody want to see another reunion with like a Jeff Weaver or Javi Vasquez? Like, no. The first time didn't work. Why would you be bringing these guys back? What the hell are you thinking? So, it's just, and like, as much as I like Didi Gregorius, it would have been nice to have him, but I can't see a reunion working as well as it did the first time. And I know folks have talked about him, and I loved him when he was here. He was great. He came into his own. He blossomed, but he's better off in Philly. But it just seems to me this is a curious observation that I wanted to point out, and I'm sure some of you have noticed this, and maybe you haven't, but a lot of these guys the Yankees are calling up are just much older than they are at the other teams. They have some young dart throws, the Luis Gills and Luis Medina, so they're young, 22, 23. Davey Garcia's 22. He's not here. He's not, figuring it out, at the major league level. I mean, we need some of these guys to get opportunities, and when they don't, when they're just sitting at the major league, and another year goes by when he hits 30 home runs and bats 300 and does all this stuff, while we have guys who are just basically wasting roster spots up here starting, like, as much as I love him, Brett Gardner and like Clint Frazier, it's just they're almost automatic outs right now. Gleyber Torres almost an automatic out. At least two of those guys you can send down because they have options and bring up guys. Hoijon Park, Trey Ambergy, I've mentioned these guys. Greg Allen, Estevan Florial, even though Florial struggled a little bit recently, but some young new blood. And they're young. And let those other guys figure it out. That's the whole point. But what do you have AAA? What's the point of it? If you're not going to give these guys an opportunity, especially at the major league level, why is it so bad to hold these guys accountable for stinking up the place? Isn't the goal for the team to win? Doesn't Hal Steinbrenner want to put a good product on the field, or do you not care, Hal? You just want to make money. So, like let's never mind the fact that he's just absentee everywhere, not answering, not doing anything. And neither is really Brian Cashman either. He's saying, "Oh, we're talking to everybody." You say that every year, dude. You say that every year, okay? But there's so many things that they could do right now that they're not doing, that wouldn't require anything but a roster move swap within their own franchise, and they're not doing it. If they're not going to make a trade, and I said this recently, while they're looking to potentially make a trade, take advantage of some of these guys. Maybe they won't be an automatic out here. These guys are motivated to come up here, so they're going to work hard, they're going to try hard, they're going to do everything they can to stay up. So the likeliness of them producing is much higher than the Gardners and the Clint Fraziers and guys like that. And I like Tyler Wade too, but Ho-Jung Park is an upgrade over Tyler Wade. Like it's things like that where it's just like it's baffling. It's baffling. But to the original point, the age. The average age of the Yankees prospects are so much older than the other teams in baseball, and it's crazy. Look at the Blue Jays calling up Guerrero and all these guys at the same time. Bichette, right? Guerrero, like Biggio, and look at them. They're making it work together at the major league level. They're gelling together, okay? And I don't know why some of our young guys think so much more than some of the other franchise. When for some reason the Yankees either losing streaks or slumps are so much more pronounced, so much more profound than so many other teams, players. I don't understand any of it, but it is what it is. So that obviously requires them to look at their coaching, to look at bring in a mental coach. I don't know what they need to do, but it's stuff like this where it's an obvious flaw, and for some reason they're unwilling to address it or even acknowledge it. And if people like me are noticing it, or other folks, you can only imagine how many other people are noticing it. But this is and there's so many guys that they could call up. There's at least 4 or 5 of them, or 6, that they could call up and give an opportunity right now. And instead, they're wasting their prime years, or going into their prime years with the hopes of maybe coming up one day. When you trade them to another team, and all of a sudden they become Yankee killers. It's comical. Gittins, it took him a few games, but he adapted. He replaced Luke Voit when Luke Voit was out. And he started to hit. He started to hit some home runs, started to hit some key base hits, and he was comfortable at first base, looked pretty solid there. So, but he's 27 or 28 years old. He's been slamming the ball for years now. So it's and again, these other guys, and I'm going to continue hammering them because they're not doing it. And if they're not trading people, and they just keep putting out Gardner every day and putting out Clint Frazier every day, and Andujar's not as bad as Frazier right now, and Tyler Wade, the roster itself, the lineup itself that comes to the Bronx every day or travels to the stadium from the Bronx should be better. And we have options to, at the very least, give them a chance to be better, and they're not taking advantage of it. So what is going on? Why are they sitting there? Why? Do we have any explanation? Why? Okay, I understand if some of them might not be on a 40-man you move, but I just mentioned 4 guys on the team that are on the 40-man that could be replaced with 4 guys that are not on the 40-man, or some of them might be. Some of them, it doesn't matter. But they would be, in my mind, and I think a lot of folks would agree, it's upgrades over the team. Make the team incrementally better while you're looking to make it significantly better. It's just weird. The prospects from the other teams are getting shots at 20, 21, 23, and I get 20 is a little young, but 21, 22, 23, and you have guys blossoming, or us, 26, 27, 28, with the exception of a few. Gleyber Torres wasn't a farm prospect. He was acquired here. So was Clint Frazier, acquired in a trade. Miguel Andujar, okay, he performed, he got hurt, and he still has a good bat, but, we have guys here who can come up, and they're highly touted. What are we going to do? We're going to wait for Jason Dominguez to be 25 before we call him up? We're going to 7 more years of development instead of giving him a chance to be, as long as he keeps performing, why not accelerate their development through the minor league system? If they keep performing, what's the problem? That's just my point of view. But you let me know what you think, because this is, to me, it's mind-boggling and it's baffling as to why the Yankees they're Yankees just it's such a different universe with regards to prospects in Yankee land than it is in the other teams. Let me know what you think.